Hey guys, this is Mahiba from Florida. Welcome to my channel. I'm here with my friend Lisa. Hi! We are here at Ringling Museum. Let's go see how it looks.
Welcome to the greatest show
The Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus has been entertaining generations of Americans for 146 years. In the late 1800s, there were no TV or YouTube. The only form of entertainment was when someone came to town to perform a live show. And the Ringling Circus has truly been the greatest show on earth. The Ringling Museum in Sarasota has really captured the essence of this American icon. The entrance to the museum looks like a circus tent, and once you go inside the building, we are greeted by this vibrant, colorful mural packed with action. Look at this guy with his head inside an alligator's mouth. Just another day in Florida. One part of the museum, called the Tibbles Learning Center, houses thousands of miniature models explaining how it felt when circus came to town in 1920s. The Ringling Brothers Circus went from city to city in a train. Their train had more than 100 cars and was about a mile long. It was the longest privately owned train in the world. Can you imagine the scene? When the circus train rolled into a small town, everyone came to the tracks to see the spectacle. When the doors opened and a menagerie of exotic animals stepped out, the crowd was amazed. They didn't have many zoos at that time, and for many people, it was their first time to see a zebra or a rhinoceros. Actually, the circus also served as an educational institution, giving the people a sense of how huge an elephant can be or how tall a giraffe really is in person. First, they had to lay out the circus lot. They needed at least 20 acres of flat land to set up the tents. Once they prepared the circus lot, they carried all the needed equipment they brought with them on the train using horse-drawn wagons. The first thing they set up on the circus lot was the cooking tent. Soon the air was filled with the smell of hot cakes, sausages, and eggs. The Ringling Cookhouse prepared food for 1,300 workers and performers 3 times a day. Food supplies were ordered from the local market before the circus came to town, and it was delivered early in the morning. Each day, they usually ordered 30 gallons of milk, 200 pounds of tea and coffee, more than 2,500 pounds of meat, and 2,200 loaves of bread. When a flag was raised over the dining tent, it signaled the workers and the performers that it was mealtime. Each person had a designated seat at the table, and it was set with china plates, silverware, a water pitcher, condiments, bread, and butter. To feed the circus staff 3 times a day, they had to prepare close to 4,000 meals. Once they were done with breakfast, they went on a spectacular parade through the town. Beautifully decorated wagons with band music, long line of animals, performers in elaborate costumes, it all served as an advertisement for the upcoming show. It was like a teaser trailer. In some communities, they even closed down schools and factories so everyone can enjoy the wonders of circus. While the animals are out on a parade, the acrobats are practicing their routine. They often performed dangerous tricks without a safety net. For the audience, it was thrilling to watch. Even recently, in one of the shows, there were 8 acrobats performing a routine hanging by their hair. The whole equipment broke and it resulted in serious injuries. At this miniature exhibit, we get to have a peek at the behind-the-scenes circus life that was hidden to general public. There were a lot of small rest tents set up for the staff. Look, somebody's washing their hair, doing their laundry. The men and the women had separate tents to get ready for their performance. It had a barber shop, a post office. It was truly a city on wheels. They sometimes called it Ringlingville. Once the audience entered the circus lot, they had concession stands selling popcorn and cotton candy. And then they get to walk past the sideshows. It was one of the biggest draws for circus. Brightly colored banners hinted at the strange and marvelous sights to be seen inside. The bearded lady, the corkscrew man, Siamese twins were all part of human curiosities, as they call them. The audience had to pay a separate fee to see these shows. This is the main entrance to the greatest show on earth. Once they purchase the tickets, they get to walk through a display of animal cages. These beautiful cages were custom-made works of art. They were made out of hand-carved wood and ornate gilded scroll work. There were giraffes, kangaroos, and even polar bears on display. Once the audience exit the menagerie tent, they were funneled into the big top. This is the centerpiece of the circus lot. It could seat 15,000 people for one show. There was a lot of action going on in this big tent. At any given moment, shows could be taking place in the 3 rings, on the 4 stages, around the hippodrome track, or in the air above the rings. The show went on for 2.5 hours without intermission. They kept the audience engaged with their razzle and dazzle of beautiful costumes and hair-raising stunts. While they were still performing in the big top, the workers start tearing down and loading the cooking in the dining tent. Even though it took a lot of preparation to stage this show, the circus stayed in town only for one day. Once the show got over, they folded all the chairs, packed up the equipment, and boarded all the animals back on the train. It was time to move on to the next town and start the process all over again. 20 years ago, when my kids were really small, we took them to the Ringling Brothers Circus. They loved it. But only after coming to this museum, I realized all the things that went on behind the scenes to stage the greatest show on earth. This bandwagon, called the Five Graces, weighed 8 tons and had to be pulled by 40 horses. They also had some beautiful original costumes on display. The interactive hands-on exhibits were fun for all ages. My friend Lisa was saying that idioms like jumping on the bandwagon, running away to join the circus, and the three-ring circus makes much more sense now. This is the newly restored private car that belonged to John and Mabel Ringling. It is called the Wisconsin. That's a really cool kitchen. It must have been really nice to take a bubble bath and see the world go by through the window. Wow, they had 2 bedrooms. A dining area, and a living room. I guess it could be a study too. It feels so luxurious, like a 5-star hotel on wheels. Those were some of the original wheels from the parade wagons. There's also a museum of art and courtesan, which is the house of John and Mabel Ringling, in the premises. We'll see a tour of that in the next video. The Circus Museum has beautiful gardens with shady trees. You can feel the cool breeze in the afternoon from the Sarasota Bay. It's a perfect place to have a picnic and hang out with friends.